What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Pound for Pound. I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
A Shadowline production.
And guys, today we have a very special... You saw that? Stick, huh? It was thick this time. We have a very special guest, a man that needs no introduction, a UFC Hall of Famer, UFC light heavyweight champion, UFC heavyweight champion, Strikeforce heavyweight champion. I mean, just champion on champion. High school 3-time state champion. Didn't get the NCAA, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Oh, you old hater.
We ain't gonna talk about that. A man that we go way back with. Myself, Henry, Olympian, Mr. Daniel Cormier.
Thank you, boy. I was kind of wondering. I was like, man, I want to go on these boys' podcasts bad.
Yeah, really?
But you know what's kind of messed up, dude?
What?
So I got a manager.
Right.
I got brothers. Stop. I got brothers. I got brothers. My brother.
Yeah.
My brother. Right? We consider each other those things, knowing each other that long.
Right.
My manager, I get an email. Daniel, you've been requested to be on the Pound Pound. I said,
You're the lucky winner.
No, Daniel, you've been requested to be on the Pound Pound. I'm like, yo, did you lose my number? Did you lose my number or did you lose my number? Because when I ask y'all to do it, I go directly to y'all.
Yeah. Right.
I don't get it. It was kind of insulting.
Yeah. No.
It was insulting because then it feels like our relationship isn't as true as I thought it was.
Okay, but then here's the flip side of that. The flip side is our relationship with you is so strong, and we feel so deeply about our connection to where I never want it to be a burden. I never want it to be a situation where it feels like I'm exploiting my friendship.
Yeah.
So you got to go through the proper channels because, hey, it's people out there that you get a little too familiar with, you get too friendly with.
He's got Hollywood, bro.
You get too
kinda
friendly
crazy,
with.
He's telling me that I'm
They get
exploiting
like
our
that.
friendship because I've been interviewed like 5 times.
Facts.
The very first interview on my channel
Facts.
was him.
Oh, yeah?
Facts. Hey, you don't exploit your friendship with me? Hey, how many checks have I gotten from the other show?
From my check-ins?
No.
Which one?
Yeah, check-ins.
Oh, yeah, when you check in? Man,
I've done a few of those.
I'm doing bad on that channel. I ain't getting paid. They don't pay me yet. I'm still waiting on my check. When I get my check, you get your check.
Oh, you sure?
But I'm going to tell you one thing.
We got it on film.
Hey, y'all doing good. I like this, man. Y'all doing a good job. I see all these cameras.
I see y'all too.
Y'all
You know,
doing a
y'all
good
got the
job.
whole good guy, bad guy thing going on. I mean, what's
Or as Islam
I mean,
would say,
I was supposed.
good
What's up with
guy,
that?
fat guy.
Hey, bro, why you coming at me? You see
Hey,
why?
that's
Hey, see why this dude
that's
gets-
your boy, dude.
Hey, bro, you
your
see how that's
boy,
why
dude.
Henry be getting done dirty. Henry, bro, I don't know what happened. I thought I'd be getting disrespected. I thought they'd be disrespecting me, but they be on your neck, Henry. They be on
I
your
love
neck,
it. Bring it, suckers. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Henry don't mind it.
It's good to be the hill, dude.
You
Right?
like it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice, man. Whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Like we
But,
can't
my
all
man,
be GSP, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
DC, what and we've talked a little bit about this, is you're such a personality now. It's like the I don't want to compare you, but it's like the Shannon Sharp thing. It's like the Steve Harvey thing.
Yeah.
You're so loved by everyone to where you're like the uncle now. You're like DC, the uncle.
Yeah.
To where, in a sense,
They
and I
forget
know
what you did.
you forget. They forget that you was a dog. If you need to get, you know, if you need to get
Yeah.
Some of these
spicy,
young
you gonna
boys.
get spicy. Some of these dudes be disrespectful. Oh, that's just Uncle DC. Like he can't. They forget that
Yeah, a little bit.
you a multiple time world champion, Hall of Famer.
But it's not even like,
That-
it's just like, it's not even that. It's not even just that, right? Like, the Hall of Fame and all this other stuff is cool, but like, I'm from Lafayette, man. Like, I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. Like, come at me, you know, like, it's just, and I don't like the disrespect, but reality is I don't really care that much. A lot of times, Usman and Henry, you guys do understand that when people, it's very rare that we get what you're getting from Bilal Muhammad right now.
Right,
We get it from the dude
Right.
that needs
right.
you or me. What you two have done as active fighters, it's amazing, right? Because you guys have like not had done as well recently. You're both great champions, but you have done so much great work in the past that the active champions are saying your names, almost invoking you back into the title picture. With me, there is no fight at the end of the rainbow. So what they're doing is trying to use me to elevate them.
Right.
You don't get what you two get. You guys are getting something that is not normal from champions going, I want him because I know what Kamaru Usman is. He's one of the greatest welterweights of all time. I want Henry because I know Henry's one of the greatest fighters of all time. So I know that if I can fight these guys and beat these guys, it helps me. But at the end of the day, you don't know if you're beating that man.
Right.
It's still a fight.
Right. And the dark side comes out too, because it's like, I'll stomp you. I'll get in there and put hands on you still.
Yeah.
So there's that side. It's dealing with that conflict that goes back and forth. But DC, for you, man, I mean, what a career. Starting out in high school, doing what you did in high school, and then you went to Kobe, didn't you?
I did. Kobe
You went
College,
to Kobe
junior
college, 61-0.
Yep, I did.
At Kobe.
I didn't know that.
I did, yeah.
Two-time
I
champion.
good in junior college.
And then went to Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And was doing your thing. Did you All-American one time or twice?
One time. My junior year, I was the 3rd seed. Got beat twice. Yeah, it was tough. Got in a fight,
Who
too.
beat you?
I lost to this kid named Doug Lee from Oregon. And then I lost to I lost to a dude named Cash Edwards. I lost to 2 dudes from the Pac-12. Wow. I was tripping, man. I don't know what happened. Then I got in a fight. You remember TJ Hill? That little short dude?
Yeah.
Man, he was out there making All-American. I was jealous, so I pushed him. As I'm walking off the mat, I just lost. He runs to 125, so he getting ready to fight again. So I see him. He about this tall. Remember how small TJ Hill was?
He's not lying.
TJ Hill was small. You make Henry look like a giant. I look at TJ Hill, little ass. I was like, man, I can't stand you. So I pushed his ass. John Smith was like, you going to attack him? I was like, Coach, I got to take my anger out on somebody.
That's crazy.
It's been good, Daniel, because I feel like a lot of your wrestling career, and particularly in 08, obviously it was hard, dude. Same Olympic team together, me, you, Marco, Askren, Schwab, Rovat, maybe, we did it. Obviously, I'm the only one that pretty much from the freestyle team that, brought back a medal. But I also noticed too, like there was still that, like, obviously you didn't get a chance to compete, but I also feel like it put a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And you decided, I was like, you know what? I'm done with wrestling, but I'm gonna use this hardship. What happened to me at this tournament? Because I'll be honest with you, DC. Everybody was pissed at you.
Mad.
Everybody
was mad.
You're America's most wanted. You did make the weight, but you couldn't compete, and but you were able to translate that into mixed martial arts.
I was so honestly, man. Like a lot of times, you don't recognize what's best when you're in the situation. Bro, I was already in conversation with universities to take head coaching jobs. If I would have went to that Olympic Games and did what I was supposed to do, right? I got 3rd in the world a year before. I was going to the guy that I beat multiple times, him and I were wrestling first match. He ended up getting 3rd because they had 2 bronze, right? The Cuban. If I would have wrestled and placed, I would have been done. I would have never did this. I would have went off to some small university and coached at that university, made $150,000 a year and been happy. But then I had to ask myself some hard questions when I got home. And you start to see the people that you think are your friends, and they start to change around you, right? You can still do this, right? You can still be the club coach here. But it's like, the love's not there no more. You just feel it. So I was like, I'm out, man. I'm going to go to San Jose, and I'm going to start trying to fight.
You know what's crazy is that now I don't know if this is the person that actually got you in, like started to fight, but I just saw a post of Javier Mendez today. Yeah. And he talked about King Mo and how's it that King Mo brought the Khabib, all Khabib and all of them. I'm just like, whoa, I did not know that. Yeah, he did. And I almost feel like, did King Mo bring you there too?
So what happened was I used to be I'm managed by the same guys, Dwayne Zinkin and Bob Cook. Zinkin Entertainment. Dwayne was an All-American wrestler at Fresno State. Mm-hmm. His brother Harold was an All-American. And the other brother, Nicky, wrestled there. Great wrestlers. He called me in 2001 after I made the NCAA finals because his uncle was like, this kid can fight. I told him, I said, I want to try to make the Olympic team. In that year, after I was done with wrestling, I tried to go to Arizona State. I was like, maybe I'll wrestle one more year to try to get it right. But my heart wasn't in it. I was sitting in the gym at Stillwater High School. My nephew was living with me. He was a senior. He's playing AAU basketball. I went to the bathroom and I called Dwayne and I said, hey, I think I'm ready to try this. But Mo was already telling me, you'll be good at it. You're going to be good. Mo was a very influential. I went to San Jose. You know what Dwayne and Bob did, though? To not try to trick me, they flew me to San Jose to see AKA. Then I had to go meet Rashad. I don't know who he was managed by at the same time, but I met his manager. Then they flew me out to Southern California to meet with King Mo's management. They didn't try to shield me from meeting all these different managers. They put me in front of them to show me that what they had as a product was better. And once I saw that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to San Jose. I did the back and forth thing for a while, month in Oklahoma, month in California. And I was like, man, you know, if I'm going to do this, I got to be in California full time. So I moved to San Jose.
Wow. That's, I mean, crazy. It's kind of, my journey is similar to those journeys because it's, I've told, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but obviously the first time that I was hearing about you in high school.
Yeah.
Because when I was in high school, you guys were already on the world team.
Yeah.
And you guys are training, and it's you and King Mo on the world team.
Yep. And
that's how strong representation is. And I didn't realize that at the time. You know, I'm just a kid growing up, and I happened to be, me and my buddy Aaron happened to be the only two black kids on the team.
Yeah.
And I think about it, it's Texas. Wrestling at that point is not the sport that we gravitate towards because football and basketball, these are things that we see. So we're wrestling, and we're starting to see you guys on the cover in the Win magazines and the things like that. And I remember the first time you guys were trying to get into the Fargo Dome to go in and practice. And I remember me and this was during the Real Pro Wrestling days when you guys were doing Real Pro Wrestling, and we had just watched you guys compete at Real Pro Wrestling. I think you were representing, was it Oklahoma?
Me and Mo were Oklahoma Slam.
Yeah, Slam. And we remember seeing you guys, and I think you spanked somebody while you were wrestling them.
It was Tommy. It was Tommy.
Yeah, you spanked them.
Tommy Rollins.
Yeah, you actually spanked someone. And I remember we saw that, and we were just like, oh man, there's a guy that looks like us, that's excelling at this level of wrestling, and it gives you that extra motivation. So I remember when we saw you guys trying to sneak trying to get in to train, to practice while there was a break. So we ran up and we was like, yo, King Mo.
Swear to God, I gave you a hug.
You didn't give me no damn hug.
Don't be an asshole. I swear to God, I hugged you.
You did not give me no hug.
I swewer to God, I hugged you.
But I would tell you this though, you did dap us up, and you was just like, you know, talked to us for a little bit, asked us what, and then my friend Aaron was like, yo, I know what you did. I saw what you did at Real Pro Wrestling, and I remember you going, what you see? What'd you see? He was like, yeah, we saw you spank that dude. And you just joked with us. And it was just that little moment, that little interaction that was so meaningful. We was like, oh my God, there's these guys that look like us. They deal with similar circumstances that we have to deal with in the sport, and they're at that level. Oh, we can get there. Yeah. And I can't tell you what that did for me, because and King Mo at the time was from Texas.
Yep.
Went to a D2 school.
Yep.
Was national champion. Transferred. I'm going to be honest right now. That was my goal. I was like, okay, I'm getting out. I'm going to D2. I was a Nebraska Carney. Became a national champion. I'm like, oh, I'm going to Oklahoma State. And I remember I'm kind of slowly talking back and forth with, you know, how I can get in. And I remember they big dogged me.
Really?
They big dogged me.
Come on, stop lying.
They big dogged me.
Well, Mo was at Central Oklahoma, so it was right up the street.
So when Mo, yes, I understand that. But, you know, at the time I got word, oh yeah, we take care of your books. I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like,
books?
I just became a national champion. And you saw, and I've
books
never
cost like $300.
I'm like,
John Smith is a hard ass too.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something. John got us.
Yes, and I'm like, come on, really? I'm a national. I've never lost to Oklahoma State kid. I've beat every one of them.
Yeah.
My junior, senior year, I beat every starter Oklahoma State had at 74. And I remember going, really? You going books? But I remember I wanted to follow that path. I'm like, because I was looking things up. Oh, King Mo is a national champion, D2. Oh, I'm gonna be national champ. Oh, King Mo went to Oklahoma State. I'm gonna go to Oklahoma State. When it didn't work out, I was like, all right, screw it. But I just want to let you know how powerful that was. And then watching you guys go train for the Olympics, and I'm like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And I just followed that journey all the way to seeing you guys in MMA. And like you mentioned, guys like King Mo saying, hey, yo, come do this.
You can do this.
You can do this. And it was something just so powerful about that for me, to where Rashad did the same thing to me. And I know Rashad was kind of one of those guys
with me too,
guys. And he would talk a little bit about that. What was it for you? Who was the representation for you to say, you know what? Yeah, I could do this.
Well, it's like that's why growing up in Louisiana, right? So we watched the wide world of sports on ABC because it was free. TV was free. Right. We got Channel 3, Channel 10, Channel 15. It was CBS, Fox, and ABC. And Channel 7 was NBC. You could do it on those spinning TV things. Like you turn it to the U. Well, you turn it to the U, and if you spin that thing enough, you get Channel 15.
You got the hanger in the back.
Hanger. Hanging off the back. That's crazy, huh?
You like
and like the small
TV, and
like boom, boom. That make the line stop squiggling. Shut up, Henry. This dude here, man. Henry, a spoiled kid. But we'd watch that. But that's why all I cared about was boxing, because those guys looked like us. Sugar Ray Leonard looked like us. Mike Tyson looked like us. George Foreman looked like us. Larry Holmes looked like us. So we looked at all these guys as the champions of the world. Representation means everything. So when I started to leave Louisiana, it was about making sure that the way I was viewed was good to those young men that I know coming behind me, because it's hard, man. It's not easy. Like, it's not easy to have the strength to not fall into the trap. There's a trap. When you ain't got no money and everybody else is selling dope, you want to sell dope to make some money. Right. I tried that shit one time. It was not good. Bro, I swear to God, it was the worst. I was the worst drug dealer of all time. Bro, I was 16 years old. We made fake drugs.
Oh, that's not a good start.
It's bad.
Dude, that's really to get you shot.
Dude, I give it to the guy. He realized it was fake. Start chasing me. He caught me. He was fast. I gave him the money back. I was like, shit, it's a bad product, man. Here you go. Last time I ever tried that. I was so scared, though. I was so scared that this dude was going to hurt me. Because I was a kid. I was a state champion wrestler. I'm like, what am I doing here? Yeah. But I fell into the trap. So imagine other people, they fall into the trap. It's like drugs were just crazy in my neighborhood, man. When you ain't got nothing, it's easy to think that easy way is the way you want to take. So I try to make sure that I give back, and I try to show the kids the way to do things, because shit, it ain't easy, man. It's hard to stay the course.
Yeah, I remember one of the stories that you told me. This was a long time ago. It was the Whataburger story. It was a shooting.
My cousin got shot.
That
was crazy.
Listen to this.
In Stillwater.
Yeah,
bro, that was bad.
Was it in Stillwater? I thought
it was in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Bro, we were coming back from Whataburger, and these guys started fighting. They started fighting with us, and my cousin PJ, he was like grabbing the dude, and I guess he had a gun, shot him in his arm. But PJ's like a fat dude, so like his arm was fat. So his arm, like that jiggle, kind of saved him a little bit. That's my boy though. But he got shot. I was like, man, I gotta do like, but this time I wasn't even involved. I was just around it. And you could just see how quickly college, man, you're in college, you're just hanging out. Right. See how quickly things can go sideways on you. Yeah. I was lucky.
I will say this, Daniel. You've always been a fighter. I think everybody I talked to Kevin Jackson. He's like this mug's always been fighting.
Crazy.
Yeah. Because I remember when we were on the world team together, and we're all like, somebody bumped into us. One of the Zadocks.
They tried to jump me, man.
Both of them actually, you're trying to jump both of them. You mess with Mike, and then Bill got involved. He's like, you know what? Like, bring
both
it.
Of your asses over here.
I remember that. Or the time when you wrestled the Cuban.
Oh my God.
I don't know what happened. I think
he slapped me.
You threw a freaking uppercut
because he slapped me. He slapped me first. The Cuban slapped me. So I just get out of college, and bro, they all want to wrestle hard in college. Yeah. Henry too. Henry was the dude that wrestled hard. 15 seconds left in the match. There's a little bit of, I understood that as I got older. I'm up by 3-4 points. Dude's kind of like, all right, they just stand there. 5 seconds. I'm still wrestling the dude. Dude stood up and just slapped the taste out of my mouth, man. We're in the middle of freaking Venezuela. First international tournament. Me and the dude wrestling. I'm winning by 3 points, maybe 4. There's a good 7 seconds left, but I'm still pulling on his head. I'm not following the gentleman's agreement. Like, hey, you stand, look at me. I stand, look at you. Yeah. It's a wrap. He stood up and slapped me. So I punched him. What am I supposed to do? Let him slap me? Disrespectful. He's disrespectful, dog.
Talk about your obviously your senior year in college. You didn't, achieve what you wanted to achieve, but there was obviously a guy in college who was just doing what hadn't been done up until that point. And talk about that match, that rivalry in college, and he also took it international too.
Yeah, he won the Olympics. Silver and second.
So who Kamaru was talking about? He's talking about
Cael Sanderson.
Yeah.
So your rivalry with Cael Sanderson, who is obviously still considered
the best coach now,
the best collegiate wrestler,
of all
ever,
time.
over
and
Gable.
now,
he's the best coach now. But I mean, they've won 9 of 10 national championships. Yeah. It's crazy what they're doing over there, bro. Yeah. First off, this is just me. I don't really love to call things a true rivalry if it's all goes one-sided. He beat me. He was a guy that I wrestled a lot, never got over, right? Gatsalov too. Those guys were good wrestlers. Right. They didn't lose to me. So I get the word rivalry. It is because you see that same person showing up time and time again. But I think in order to make it true, it has to be like the Celtics in the Lakers, where they were going back and forth. Yeah. And Tyson Holyfield, it's not a rivalry. Right. Love Uncle Mike, but it's not necessarily a rivalry. But it was awesome because it made me separate from everyone else. While I got second, my tournament that year was pin, tech, major decision, pin to get to the finals. But it made me separate from everybody because I knew I was preparing for a guy that was just so special. But then after that, because I was preparing for him, I get to the Olympic level, and now a guy that was only an NCAA finalist becomes a 6-time national champion all in a row without giving up any points. And it just got bigger gap and bigger gap and bigger gap. So it was just this ability to prepare for the best that allowed for me to separate from most. And it would seem unfortunate to some that I've been in times in that situation with multiple people. Had it with Cael, had it with Gatsalov, right? Remember Haydari and I? Yeah. So Haydari, many great matches, another guy. And then Jon Jones in fighting, right? It's like you think, man, this dude has been second quite a bit. But reality is, it only made, that's why when Jon kept getting into trouble, I would just kill everybody else because I was preparing to fight a guy that many consider the best of all time. So I think it was a blessing for me to have those guys in my career.
Right.
Yeah. What was did you ever get Gatsalov or
no? Never got Gatsalov.
Iranian? What's the Iranian?
Haydari.
Yeah. Haydari.
Remember in the Olympic medal match, the Olympic bronze medal match? I'm winning 2-0 with a minute left. I tricked it off. Damn. I wasn't ready to be the man.
I remember that, dude.
I was not ready to be that guy. Like I just wasn't ready.
Right.
So, but what triggered DC? And plus, I remember that Haydari when he beat you, that dude was like dancing. He was doing.
Yeah, I remember I pushed him. I was a sore loser.
But what triggered DC? I mean, there's something that it's almost like, you know what? I had enough. Like I'm out to conquer now. And then, well, obviously you did it. Well, you became a 2-division champ.
Yeah. Well, I always worked really hard. But then. Honestly, man, I think a lot of it comes down to chance, like circumstances. You got to have the right circumstances. I had the right circumstance with Cain Velasquez being my training partner. I had the right circumstances with Jon Jones just being Jon Jones. I had great circumstances. Because by winning the light heavyweight championship, defending the light heavyweight championship, him being gone for so long that they didn't know that he would come back, I'd beaten everybody else. They said, hey, you get an opportunity to fight Stipe now, right? Become the world champion there. It was just circumstance plays a lot into your journey. You, Kamaru, fought so many guys before they gave you an opportunity to where it made it to where you were undeniable and you fought Tyron and you just kind of broke him. But because he was so good, everybody viewed you as, he's even better than we thought. So then you start smashing these dudes. You got beat by DJ. Everybody thought, Henry's done. All that did was motivate you. Yeah. And you got better and better and better. Then you won 125 first or 135 first?
25.
Yes. And DJ had went to one or had?
And then once I beat him, he
You beat DJ.
Yeah.
You beat DJ, he took off. But it was like circumstances. If he didn't beat you that way the first time, would you have gotten that much better that fast to go beat him the next time? Circumstances. He propelled you because he was so great. And I think that I was a beneficiary of that on a number of occasions.
All right, guys, we're taking a quick break from our amazing interview with DC to give a special shout out to our partners at Underdog Fantasy, the easiest and the best place to play fantasy sports. Their pick'em game is as easy as choosing higher or lower on a variety of player stats like significant strikes, takedowns, and knockouts. For UFC Fight Night, Moicano versus Saint Denis. Underdog also has picks for every major sports, including all of the incredible football games this weekend. New users this week get a first deposit bonus up to $1,000 and a new customer free pick. Both new and existing users get a Patrick Mahomes free pick. As always, Underdog is available in 30+ states, including California, Texas, and New York. Use code P4P as pound for pound to support the show. Click the link down below to get started. Now let's get back to our amazing interview with Daniel DC Cormier. Right, and I say I call that luck, because
preparation.
Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yep.
And you prepared enough to where
when those
lanes open up, you ran right through them.
Right through the middle.
And talk about just your MMA journey, your career, starting out in Strikeforce. And I remember watching you in Strikeforce, and you just wrestling everybody, picking them up. But then you were throwing hands with them because your wrestling was so good. Everyone's so worried about the wrestling. They have to respect that, to where, of course, it stops people from wanting to just open up and do what they exactly. Yeah. And you ain't got to duck down low to get down. You just grab their legs and do that little flip that she was doing.
You know that was always them. What? That wasn't me. I wasn't doing that. I was trying to just finish high crotch.
Of course,
but because they don't know how to defend, they flip.
Right.
That was so crazy. Everyone's like, this dude's got a signature move. I'm like, that's on them. But if they literally just keep their weight down, they won't flip.
But at some point, you did start doing it on purpose.
No, I would just try to. Kevin Jackson used to always teach us that, right? Run the pipe, elbow deep. Get him up in the air. Yes. And them dudes start flipping. The first time Dan Henderson flipped, I could not believe it. Gustafson flipped, man.
You took him to this and flipped him on purpose.
He was so long. I think he would so pick up a ladder. It starts to tilt forward. He tilted forward, so I just, go.
You helped him. Let's agree.
He was so tall.
Meet in the middle.
The problem is we meet in the middle. But these guys, again, when you get the outside arm, they're so light. They're just so light to lift.
Right.
And when you're doing things the right way, I learned very early in fighting that if you make the big guy balance, they can't do it. Like you guys, if you start doing all the shit I do to those guys, Henry, they're just like, okay, bounce, move.
Yeah.
Big guys can't balance. They fall.
Right.
So I move them side. I move them left. Then I move them right. Then I kick at their foot. And they're like tripping over themselves. Then I grab a front headlock and I just make them carry my weight. Then they're tired. Then when they fall on the ground, I try to cover them on the mouth like this. I just was doing all this random stuff to them. Like, it's crazy, dude. Fighting was the best. I ain't gonna lie, man. I always love fighting, but even in sparring and fighting, when you start getting a dude where he kind of tired, that's the best.
Yeah.
You can just beat on him and just embarrass him. Smother him with your fingers like that. Grab their face. I wish I could put two hands on their face.
You sick.
Could you put two hands on their face? Next fight, try to put two hands on somebody's face. Bro, I watched Austin O'Connor wrestle a dude. He was so tired. God, I wish I tried this. The dude was so tired, and he was on his knees, so he was covering his head like this. Kamaru, you don't want to get punched. Austin grabs him by the side of his head and smashes it into the canvas, bro. I've never seen it.
What?
The commentators were like, is that legal? I was like, I think. Dude, grabbed him by the side of his face, picked it up, and smashed it into the ground. Isn't that the best though when those dudes, when they're tired, bro?
Yes, I think that's one thing that makes it.
Henry want to play with this pretty. Henry want to play pretty like this. Yeah, take these dudes down, man. Smother them. Just jump on top of them and hold them.
That's all. Yeah,
he won't do that.
Yes, fine.
Hey, hold on. I want 2 belts. I want 2 belts.
Yeah, you did. But come on, man, it's too pretty. Take these dudes down.
Dude, I gotta,
Usman just be taking dudes down too. So when Kamaru fight his fight, and you just take them dudes down, they can't do nothing with you, man. At the end of the day, they still can't wrestle at that level.
And that's one thing that I will say that I wish Kamaru would have brought back when he fought Leon the second time. Was back his level changes and back his takedown. Yeah, I felt like when you're talking about
the second time, I had 8 takedowns.
Yeah,
I had 8 take. See, the thing is, it got to the point. Well, this is something that we all have to understand, and we all do this, and we know it, because you get to a certain point where you're the man.
Yeah.
They came to see you.
Yeah, you gotta show them a little bit.
You gotta show them a little bit.
You gotta give them a show a little bit.
You gotta give them a show.
You gotta give them a show.
Because this ain't this. Why would they have to pay money?
Because they just don't pay. They just don't pay for the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
And we've all been on the side where we make a lot of money on pay-per-view, and then some pay-per-views you're like, man, what happened?
Exactly.
But it's like when you give them a show, they come back.
They gotta come back.
And talking about shows, obviously you're a showman. And I know we talked about it before, how you grew up watching WWE, Macho Man, Randy Savage. So did I. I mean, so did we. You know what I'm saying? Like with these WWE kids or whatnot. How were you able to translate that while still being you as you were competing?
In the beginning, I tried to do what I thought I was supposed to do. I was the Olympian. I needed to be proud and prideful. And then after a while, I was like, man, this nobody cares.
Some Henry can relate to.
Facts. Facts. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm winning titles. I'm undefeated. It was until I started calling out Jon Jones. I'm like, yo, we got to fight. Because everybody gets the reference, right? I'm the kid at the wrestling tournament that's always in the bracket.
Right.
Because there's one dude you see every weekend. Every weekend. When you're from 11 years old until you get older, there's one dude that you're like, man, I know it's about to be hard, man. Every time. This dude about to be tough.
Right.
So
he showed up. And
you start looking at him. Oh, man. But like,
is he looking at
it was that. When our rivalry started, or when our fighting started, is when people started to care more. Now, initially, they would boo me and I'd be like, what is going on?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I know who this dude is. Yeah. You know who he is. But you're booing me.
You talking about Jones?
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. This dude's... I know who this dude is. You know who he is. But y'all booing me. So now we'll try to tell him not to boo me. That would make him boo me worse.
Yeah.
So finally, I'm like, yo, I don't care what y'all say.
Right.
And so once I did that, I remember being in Boston or Buffalo, and they're booing. Boo! John's in the crowd. I'm talking trash to him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on him. I'm on his neck.
I fought on that card.
I'm on his neck. I'm on his brother's neck. I'm on his neck. I'm in the cage. I'm the man. I got the belt.
Yeah.
You still on the sideline. I'm on him. They booing me. Joe Rogan said, I don't understand this. I said, man, let them keep booing me. I get money. I'm getting belt after belt after belt. They start booing louder. But then the numbers came in. I was like, they watching?
Yeah.
Right.
Then the next one, John and I fought. And then we did a massive number. Because you always need that guy. You can't do this alone. Conor can do it alone. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a dance partner.
So what advice would you give somebody that's trying to, because man, you can go the humble route, but the humble route also freaking puts you through storms and fires before you actually get to the belt.
The humble route, actually, it takes longer.
Exactly.
But it can't be non-authentic.
I don't think it's forced.
It's got to be authentic.
Yeah.
You got to be... When I talk to you guys, because we spent so much time together, the training center, international tours, we're different. That you start giving them glimpses into that, and they're like, I can't stand this dude. I cannot stand this dude.
I even got down there and was like, man, Triple C Henry's fucking annoying.
I was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, who?
Hey, but did you like some of my theatrics?
I actually,
the pillows.
At the end of the day, I said to you, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because now people care.
Yeah.
Now people care. Right. Henry, when the first time you came on, you had the thing on your head, the
crown?
No. Don't try to act
the Aztec warrior shit.
Yes, you're Aztec warrior in Mexico City. I was at the commentary table. I said, boo. Oh, that's some bullshit, man. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Right? Like, it was just different. But then when you put the crown on and you threw the snake at TJ Dillashaw, I was like, yo, this dude's out of his mind, but this is good. But you made the right type of, and but then that's a portion of your personality that you elevate. So my YouTube, I'm with this company called The Volume, right? Colin Cowherd, Shannon Sharp, and Draymond Green, all these guys. When I talked to Colin, when they decided they were going to get my YouTube channel, he said, I want you, but I want you to just kind of turn the volume up. Like, turn it up.
Yeah.
You, but with the volume up a little bit. And I go, okay. And that's what I did. I was me, and I would advise these young fighters to be them, but just like tweak the volume a little bit. Like, give them a little portion of personality, and whether they love you or they hate you, they're tapping into what you're doing. And then that ultimately equals money and numbers and fame and fortune and everything else.
Right. It's kind of like what you were saying earlier too, DC. It's almost like we just had the conversation. Damn, they're on your neck, Henry. I'm like, I like it. There's a storyline being built, and Sean doesn't know it.
Sean O'Malley's talking about you right now, fighting the guy that you just fought.
But
he's more worried. Like he's talking about you right now, which is good because you go fight one time and you win. He's like.
Or he loses, and there's an opportunity in Arizona.
There's like a lot of different elements. But Bilal Muhammad is literally talking Kamaru into the title picture.
Yes, and that's.
I mean,
I made a YouTube video about it. I was like, man,
he's saying, "Fight me, Kamaru."
Listen, Bilal is like.
What's his name?
Thank you that you said his name. I forgot his name. Thank you that you even said his name. No, you're absolutely right. And DC, this is one thing that I struggled with for a long time because I always lived by it. I always understood this. With power comes responsibility.
Yep.
And with that is what we do as now even being entertainers, what we do kind of it totes that line. It kind of blurs that line a little bit because now it's like I know I have a responsibility to the ones coming up behind me. Is this the way that I want to show them that? Because now you have to turn the volume up.
Yep.
And by you turning that volume up, is this what I want to show them?
Yeah, you got to give them a little bit, though.
And this is one thing that I think, like, think about Anthony Johnson. Yeah. R.I.P. my brother AJ would have been a massive star. He was a big star. Would have been a massive star.
If he knew how to.
I'm sorry, who's this?
Did you know what Anthony Johnson? You saw what Anthony Johnson was doing to guys.
Yeah,
kicking dudes' heads off, and that's punching. And punching dudes' teeth out in the fight, and you don't even know what he was doing at practice. But AJ never wanted. Never wanted to talk.
I used to when him and I would go on our media tours because we fought twice.
Right.
I would try to goad him into
I know.
Mess with me. Put the belt by and pull it away. He's like, oh my God, he's so annoying. He's like literally on ESPN going, this dude is so annoying. Can I be done with him? But it's like, I just was trying to get him to get annoyed, but he wasn't that guy. You know what's the crazy thing about AJ? Bro, Anthony Johnson, before he passed, left me a watch. Me. He left me a watch. The girl, I don't know if he was dating her. He was with her.
Julie.
She was like, I have something for you. AJ left. And it was a watch.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He was a sweet dude, but boy, he could punch. He could punch like nobody.
Yeah. Dangerous.
You fight, boom. I fell. I was like, oh my God, I'm on the ground.
He's like another Francis.
That was fast.
He was like a Francis.
Fast.
Yeah.
But I would actually prepare what I was going to do or say before the fights. I would prepare. Dude, Ariel Helwani used to text me stuff and help me build what I was going to say after fights. It was like Paul Heyman in wrestling.
Right.
And I'm a WWE guy, right? It was like I almost had these ideas of what I wanted to say. And so I would have these great after the fight moments.
Hey, you had a couple.
Yeah, they were just
Give me your best one. Give me your best one. I know your best one. I think it was
probably
your best one.
Jon Jones.
Yep, get it together.
Get your shit together.
Get your academics in order.
Oh, that one was good too. In Buffalo when he was standing next to Joe. What about Jon Jones? Well, first off, I was trying to cherry pick Jimmy Manoa. Jimmy Manuwa.
Hey, don't talk about my dog like that.
I love
bro.
Jimmy. Bro, I tried to cherry pick Jimmy Manuwa. He was next to the cage, and I was like, oh, he won 2 in a row. I just beat Volkan. Volkan was easy. I was like, maybe I can get another easy payday out here.
Hey.
And they said, what about him? I was like, this dude's not even eligible. Like, when he gets his academics in order, he can go back to the classroom. He was mad.
Hey.
His brother was mad, too.
Yeah,
I said, what you gonna do? Because he might be able to do something, but you can't do nothing.
You hit you. I remember seeing. I was like, oh,
got his ass
because it was at that time. It was true.
It was true. He's ineligible.
As much as I love Jon, and obviously, like, we've never seen an athlete like Jon when it comes to this fighting thing. His understanding.
He's so much smarter than people give him credit
exactly.
for, and he's tough. He's way tougher than people give him credit for.
Can I tell you something, DC, too? Like, getting a chance to, coach, and because Jon Jones came to me on 6 different occasions. Always showed up on time. Was always all eyes and ears. Yes, coach. I'm just like, damn, Jon, fucking, you can just call me. The dude, you're 100% right, man. The dude has a competitive. He understands the game as a whole, dude. I think that's what makes Jon Jones better than the rest. He's a better competitor than he is an actual fighter. But talking about Jon, his fight potentially with Tom Aspinall. Obviously, you've been there with Jon. A lot of people are saying that Jon Jones is the underdog in this. Yeah. Do you believe that? Do you believe that Tom Aspinall can actually do what he says he does?
Well, let me tell you something. Michael Bisping, before Tom Aspinall fought Sergey Pavlovich, he said all kind of crazy shit. He said he's gonna beat Jon Jones. He moved like Muhammad Ali. He gonna be the next Muhammad Ali. And I said, Mike, this has to be a gimmick. I said, please tell me. It's a gimmick. You're playing a part. There's no way you believe this. He goes, Daniel, this fight is going to last 2 minutes between him and Sergey. I said, bro, Sergey's knocked out 8 dudes in a row. He's knocked out Derek Lewis in a minute. Tom goes and knocks him out. Tom leaves to the back. Bisping's with him. Like, he's part of the camp. They hugging Bisping.
All the UK dudes, they went around together.
So then they go back to the back. So then he gets booked to fight Curtis, who he hurt himself against last time.
Right.
I'm sitting out with Tom Aspinall, and I'm chatting with him. And he tells me, he goes, DC, you haven't seen anything. He goes, I'm about to put it on this dude. I said, but boy, he's fast, and he's big, and he's been at the top of the game. He went at that dude like Curtis was not on his level. Knocked him out. Here's the problem. When we all fought Jon, you know that the first time I fought Jon Jones, I was 36 years old. I was 36 years old.
Shit.
The first time I fought Jon Jones. 36 and 38 the second time. He's now what, 37, 38 years old? He was in his mid-20s when he fought all these great legends, but he fought them all when he was in his mid-20s. Now, he'd be on the other side of that coin. Right. This kid's young. Right. He's the older guy. He's been through the wars. It doesn't matter how great you are. When you go through that many battles, it will show. The Gustafsson fight. Him and I just bashed the shit out of each other for 8 rounds. Like, we fought, we punched, we kicked. Reyes fight. The fight with the last guy, Thiago Santos. All those guys that fought him close. That takes its toll. I think that this kid is as dangerous for him as anyone he's ever been in there with. Partly because that's not his weight class. If he's at 205, I bet if he's weighing 215, he would fight Tom Aspinall better than him weighing 245 pounds.
Yeah.
I
220 in his 205 frame, he could fight Tom Aspinall better than he'd fight him at that 250 because while he didn't last long with Cyril, he didn't look as fast. He didn't look as...
He carried more weight now.
He carried more weight. And Cyril just did some weird stuff. And Jon, you don't make mistakes against Jon.
Yeah. So if you're Jon Jones and you're fighting a guy like Tom Aspinall, how would you bring the guerrilla war to a guy like Tom? If you're Jon.
Exactly what he's doing. He's doing the right thing. He's no selling him.
Right.
Like he's acting like he does not matter. Make him just angry and just don't give him what he wants. Don't give him what he wants until eventually, Yo, did you see the house Jon Jones has bought?
Hey,
Jon Jones doing all right, dog. Did you see Jon Jones' house?
I said congratulations.
Jon Jones doing all right, man. Jon Jones don't need Tom Aspinall.
No, he doesn't. But if he was, let's say, dude, because you never know, man.
You think he should fight this guy?
No, I think he should be done, and I think he deserves. I think he deserves to be done for what he's done with Stipe. Because you're right, it's a bigger guy, a different generation, and I will say
he's already beat two generations, 3.
And I will say something about Tom. His lateral movements. He's a real heavyweight.
But
his fakes, his feints. But I will say this: Sergey did clip him. We can say everything that Sergey did clip him before he knocked him out.
If he clipped him. But here's the thing: Johnny ain't knocking him out.
But could he bring the wrestler grind? Can he bring the top wrestler?
Could he take him down? He could do all that. Yes. Yeah. But he ain't gonna knock this dude out.
I have 2 opinions on it. One, I don't believe. Yeah, why do you need to
fight Stipe? You've earned the right to choose who you want to
choose. Who you want to fight. Exactly. Just like I think Jon is at the level as far as UFC is concerned. As far as mixed martial arts is concerned, Jon is at the level. Jon is at the level that Conor is at, to where he could select.
I thought you were about to say Michael Jordan.
No, relax.
Like to where I'm leaving, man.
But
if you would have said that, I was leaving.
To be honest, Jon is in a sense the Michael Jordan that we've seen in MMA.
No, he isn't.
You don't think so?
You don't interview?
You don't think so?
You just want to be done?
No, DC. Right now, really?
What?
You're gonna tell me going through everything that he has gone through? He's not at that level to where, obviously, we're not talking about the outside, but as far as in the sport, Jon is at that level to where.
So Jon Jones is. So you telling me that Jon Jones is Michael Jordan and LeBron James in MMA? You gonna sit up here, real life on
hey,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras?
Hey,
Henry.
Hey,
Henry.
No, but let me finish what I'm saying. He's not far from it. He's not far from it. But this what I was.
Jon Jones to me is if I'm talking about a football or basketball equivalent, yes. He is Jon Jones. And when I'm looking for a sports comp, is a guy who has done so much, but because of all the other stuff,
right? Okay,
it's hard to put him in that rarefied air. Hey, if Michael Jordan was doing illegal stuff, we don't know about it. I can't judge him. Georges St. Pierre can't judge him. I know of the other stuff. So it's hard for me to say this guy's just sitting up there.
Okay.
Michael Jordan got done playing basketball in 1996, and people still don't want to say somebody's better. There will be a person that comes along that people will say replaces Jon Jones as the greatest of all time. Absolutely. He has not left such a legacy that it doesn't feel like it's ever going to be toppled. Jordan left a legacy that is so strong that we have seen LeBron James do what he do. We've seen Kobe do what he do. We have seen these great players, and they're still unwilling to say they're better.
I agree with that. When you put the outside incidents in there, but I
work for ESPN.
No, but I mean as a competitor, inside the sport,
I respect him.
And this is how I feel too about the Tom Aspinall fight. Mm-hmm. One, he doesn't need to, because he's done everything.
It's too dangerous too, man.
Go ahead and fight. But if he does get motivated, if there's any one guy that can do it, I think Jon can.
I think that's what he does, right? I think when the bigger the challenge, the better he prepares. Absolutely. But then so this lends this question. People seem to be looking past Stipe. Everybody's looking past Stipe.
True.
So will he not train himself as hard? Because if he looks past Stipe's a bad boy. Yep. Stipe Miocic is a bad boy. He hits hard. He's not slow. He can wrestle. He's got good cardio. And Stipe's not a quitter. That's going to be a tougher fight for Jon Jones than people even imagine.
I agree. Now, one thing that I wanted to touch on a little bit too, because you are a father like myself, like Henry. And, you are a father that has experienced some tragedy in that realm of being a father. You lost one of your children.
Yep.
And in the middle of while still competing.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
That was hard.
How
it was
that
hard.
Was
I
dealing
was there
with
when
that,
you competed.
because my brother Francis
is
in a similar situation right now.
It's hard. We had Francis and I had a great conversation.
Oh,
and I told him,
man.
If there's any time he wants to speak about trying to, because you have to compartmentalize it.
Right.
it can't live at the forefront of your mind whenever you're trying to accomplish something great. It's impossible. It's so hard. Because when my daughter passed and I was getting ready for the World Championships, I would just cry. If things went wrong in practice, I would just cry. I had this great sports psychologist at the Olympic Training Center named Kirsten, I think her name was. Was her name KP?
I think so. Something like that.
Yeah. Kirsten or something like
yeah. Was it Dr.
Kirsten? And her last name was
right?
With a P. Yep.
Yeah.
She taught me how to channel it. And that's what Francis is going to have to do. He's going to have to find a way to channel all the emotion that he feels daily and apply it to his training, his goals, and his expectation of himself. Because honestly, man, it's hard to truly expect the best when all you're doing is hurting. Like literally you're hurting every day to even get out of bed. But you know that you're trying to build a life. So by getting up every morning, going to her before I would go to practice, getting a way to start my days, it allowed for me to take my daughter, Kaden, and make her my motivation. But man, I had 3 months when my daughter passed to wrestle. Yeah, Francis has a very short time. Huh?
You had to wrestle off in Fargo, right?
I had to wrestle off in Fargo I was there. After 7 weeks.
Right.
To try and make a world team when my daughter passed away. But he's going to have to try to channel it, man, and just rely on people. And then really, truly ask himself, what is his expectation? Does he expect to still be the best in the world? Right. Is he okay with knowing that if he falls short, he's not letting his son down? Like that's there are a lot of things that you got to kind of put into perspective before you can truly go and try to accomplish a great thing.
Right. And speaking of that and children and family, you know, your brother Kane is fighting a tough fight right now.
Yeah, he is.
With obviously, for those that don't know the situation that happened with his family and his child, and him doing the things that he did, I always try to kind of put myself in someone's situation to kind of get a better understanding of what they might be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And every part of me, I want to say that I, as rational as I am, every part of me would think about the consequences of what I would do in that aspect. But especially with us, we this is what we do.
Yeah,
that's our job, is to protect and provide. So knowing that when something like that happens, all bets are off.
Well, that's we, like Dana even said this, we all say it, right? But when put in that situation, do we go through with it? Kane did. And now he is ready to stand up and take his consequence. You know, he went to jail for a while. Bro, it was the saddest thing. Right. Like, I would go there and I would sit with him, and the things we spoke about, it was so crazy because to me, he was the reason I knew I could be world champ. Because out of our gym, he made it possible to dream that big. Right. Watching the way he worked, watching how committed he was to becoming the best in the world, I knew that I could be the best. Then I sat there, and you go to jail, right? And there's this glass thing in between you and the person you get on the phone, right? We would just sit on the phone, and every time I would get there, right, he was still Kane. He'd be like, wipe it, before I would pick the phone up to start talking. And we'd have these great conversations, man. We'd get like an hour before I would have to leave, right? Because I think they only get that. And we would talk about like what he was eating, what he's doing. You know, he was spending so much time by himself, 23 hours a day by himself. Oh. Because of the confinement they had.
So was he max?
No, it wasn't max. It was the county, but like the celebrity aspect of it, they didn't want to put him in general population. So he had to kind of stay by himself all the time. He said he would watch the fights through like his thing, because like most days he was like by himself. So or in that cell. So he could see the TV up at an angle and he would watch fights and stuff. And we talk about the fights and stuff. So he's been home now for a while and he's on house arrest. He's coaching at AKA. He's done a tremendous job getting the guys prepared. But the best thing about his situation is when you're out on house arrest, you get your time served that you're actually out, but you get additional for being at house arrest and doing things the right way. So I think it might be like 1 month out is like literally 2 months serving. So he's probably done almost 4 years of actual time now before he goes to his sentencing, which is coming up very soon.
Yeah, I saw that. So do you know when the trial's actually taking place?
I think it's like a month before he goes to, he already pleaded. So he's going to just get sentenced.
Damn.
Right.
So, I mean, and I think he said he doesn't know what's going to happen, but, you know, we're all pretty sure that there's going to be some sort of jail time. You hope that it's not going to be a lot because he's been doing the right things since he got out.
Right. I mean, what a heartbreaking situation just being, because we all,
for all
like
of them,
said,
right?
we all
Him, the family, like the stepdad that got shot. Like, it's just a bad situation all around. But you do hope, or you do wonder aloud, would you do the same thing? Because that's been always told, your job as a man is to take care of your family at all costs. Yeah.
DC, you've got a lot of accolades. I named obviously quite a few of them all throughout at the beginning of this sit down. But right now, being multiple time world champion, high school state champion, All-American, world medals, what drives you?
You know, I think for us we're like high thinking, high accomplishing people. We have to have things that we pursue.
Right.
If we don't have those things that we pursue, we die. I really believe that the moment you stop chasing something, you die. And maybe you don't die physically, but something inside you dies.
Right.
So for me, it's about becoming the best broadcaster I can be, continuing to excel in growing my media. I started doing this thing, and I take a lot of pride in this. Like, we have some of the best broadcasters in the world. I'm talking Felder and Dominic Cruz and Michael Bisping and so many other great analysts and broadcasters. We all started this thing together, right? I take pride in knowing that when we were at Fox, I worked myself up to hosting UFC Tonight. I worked myself off the desk next to the commentary table. Now I've worked myself to the point that I'm on all the pay-per-views. I chase growing my media career. I think that if I don't chase things, I'm done. So yeah, that's my drive is providing for my family, for my children, but also still competition. I want to be better than the next guy. And I believe that every one of those guys want to be better than me, because if they're not, the product suffers. And none of us want the product to suffer. And then I coach wrestling. Yeah, like that's my
and
stuff.
that's including pound for pound. We coming for the good guy and the bad guy.
Okay. You can definitely do that. You guys,
Ain't that right, Chris? Come on, pound.
You guys do a great job. You guys have done a great job. I watch constantly. Hey, and you know what I've done? Something he doesn't do for me. Every time you guys put out an episode, swear it, I'll show you my text messages.
I'm salty.
No, I'll show you my text. I'll show you my text messages. My YouTube channel, Daniel Cormier TV.
Right.
I need views. I like views. Good Guy, Bad Guy does fine. It's ESPN. It's always going to do really, really well. My stuff, love views. You guys have a new podcast, Pound for Pound? Let's see this. Kamaru Usman. Let's look at this.
You going to go to the phone?
I send him this text.
You going to go to the phone?
I send him this text. You know what I've sent him? He's got 10 texts from me. Every text is a video of me watching 2 minutes of Pound for Pound so that you guys get a view. Every time. Every episode, I send him a video of me watching 2 minutes of Pound for Pound so that you guys get a view. How many times have you done that for me?
What is it? You have to watch 2 minutes for it to count? I didn't know that.
See?
I've been watching DC and Good Guy, Bad Guy so long, but
you're lying.
I've been watching it. I'm thinking.
You know what he told me? He goes,
nah.
Yeah, that little bit of time doesn't even count.
Hey.
I said, you see, you're ungrateful.
DC,
you're ungrateful.
I've been watching.
Guys, everybody in the back that run this, I watch 2 minutes of every episode to make sure you guys get a view.
All right.
The only episode I haven't turned around, I turned off the Canelo episode. Kamaru was acting scared. I hated it.
Wow.
Apologizing.
When did I apologize?
Okay, I watched the entire
I'd never apologized.
Hey, I did watch the entire Sean Valley episode.
Hey.
Fucking Henry.
Yo, I'm glad you said that though. It's I think on this side now, getting to be on this side to where you're not that, because when you're a fighter, you're an artist and you're so hypersensitive. Yeah. Everything that is said, you feel it.
Man, you've done I'm thinking about it right now. You've done some numbers for me.
So
let me pull it up real quick. You've done some numbers for me, boy.
Yo, so on this side now, it's just an understanding to where you're just like, you understand what a fighter feels when you say something or you do something for it. So it's like,
pull up some numbers.
Now, so now it's understanding that, and it's just a higher understanding to know that a fighter's gonna feel a certain type of way with what you said and how you feel. And if I'm not in that spirit at that time, I'm gonna let it be known. I'm be honest.
Well, fighters are sensitive.
Extremely.
Bro, they're extremely sensitive.
You have to be.
Sean O'Malley, one of them.
You have to be though.
You better stop, man. I talked to him yesterday about you. He said he just don't like your face.
Hey, let's go back to that thing when I called his ass out when he was doing the videos. Oh, you ready? You ready?
When?
But he was stumbling. He was doing media.
No, he was doing
it was like a show in the office, dude. I called him out, hey, I want a tune-up fight, Sean. I think you absolutely suck. And he just kind of like, I just shook him. And I think ever since then, I'm trying to make that bread. You know what I mean? If you don't fight the Great White Hope, I mean, there's a lot of pay-per-view points. Ain't that right, DC?
You just call him the Great White Hope?
That dude Henry.
Henry's so disrespectful.
Yo, what's wrong with Henry, bro? Henry has no filter.
So disrespectful.
104, 152, 165.
There we go. 150, 160, 100. Hey, that Kamaru Usman, boy.
Hey.
Every time. Hey, man. Hey, you know what? I think I need to abuse our friendship. I'm ready right now. When you fighting again?
Wow,
I'm ready to abuse your friendship.
Hey, you know me and you. We go way back, and we,
sure.
you know. And one of the things that I would have to say is, I'm so appreciative of our relationship because being able to grow up watching you guys and having you guys kind of be that representation. You, King Mo. Rashad Evans, be that representation, the figures to where even though I was there competing alongside you guys at some point, I still was that kid that looked up and was like, oh man, they did that. Maybe I can do that. So being in the position that I am now and still having your friendship, and I think we're closer now than we've ever been.
Yeah, I know. We talk on the phone.
Yeah, so to have that
friendship. Why do you guys all FaceTime though?
Because
it is the weirdest thing. I've never seen so many men FaceTime.
Because for me, I guess it's a little paranoia type deal.
You think I got you on the phone with somebody else? Why would I do that to you?
I want to see and plus it's different. It's different. There's layers to a conversation, and that's what we've realized over time. At one point, it was when you talked on the phone, you could hear the tone, you could hear the emotions, it was completely different. We know it's different from text. You text somebody, they don't know the tone, and how you don't get it. But I want to see your face.
Why? I mean,
especially if I'm talking to my brother, and I want to see how you laugh at whatever I say, how you react. I want to see that.
Yeah, a good reaction is quality. A
laugh. So so I want to see all of that. So, and you're mad about it? No, I love you that much. You think I FaceTime everybody?
Bro, no, bro, but like, dude, it's Ali's guys. It's Ali's guys.
Oh, what? Me, him, and Justin?
You, my Justin, brother. Khabib, Umar. You guys all FaceTime.
Well, that's exactly that. Just
you
attests
probably
to
get
what
it from
I'm
Ali,
saying.
man.
That just attests
Ali.
That attests to what I'm saying is you're so special to all of us.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Are you gonna say right now? You gonna say right now? You don't feel like you're special to Khabib?
I love every one of y'all.
You don't feel like you're special to Khabib?
But I don't.
You don't know that you're special.
We can just talk. We can talk on the phone. Yeah, you're my brother, y'all.
Nah, I want to see your face.
Yeah,
I want to see you laugh.
Well, DC, I just want to give you my flowers, bro. Thank you for for being the first Olympic wrestler to really take it to the next level, to become champion.
You,
and I followed it. And I know sometimes whenever it is that I do need like that hard advice, I'll call Daniel.
Yeah, you give me a little
call,
I'm
saying, I'm like, hey man, what do you think? Should I retire? Like, nah, you still got
it. I'm like, what are you doing?
So just certain things like that.
So at the end of the day, like when you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm done. I could not imagine them saying, I want to give you this amount of money to fight. I'd be like, no. Can't train. When you still have it, you got to use it.
Yeah.
Because there's going to come a day where it's not there anymore. See, for me, I'm lucky. I still get to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
That's the beauty in the commentary. Right. I walk through the crowd. Hey, I still get the hands waving at me. Yeah. I still get that.
Yeah, you're still the double champ. You still feel like the double champ?
But most...
No.
That dude would eat me alive. That crazy son of a bitch would eat me alive. I was crazy. But now I'm happier than I've ever been, though. Yeah. Life is good, man. Yeah. Life is good, bro. Like in this, I'm just a kid from Lafayette, Louisiana, from the north side of Lafayette, too, which ain't the best. And I'm blessed, man. I'm lucky. I'm going to this fear, bro. I'm going to get to watch a fight in 3D. And all I can think about is how that's going to happen. But I'm going to actually get to watch a fight in 3D. We live in an alternate universe, dog.
My brother, I mean, it's we can't say enough of what you mean to us and what you mean to the sport.
Thank you.
Of mixed martial arts and what you meant to the sport of wrestling. I mean, from Henry, from myself, from the fans all around the world, and of course, those little boys and girls that are looking up and watching you, knowing that you give us that representation. I want to say thank you.
My brother.
Man, thank you for coming to sit with us, too.
Uncle DC.
I love this, man. Thank you.
That?
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Guys, keep supporting these boys. They're doing great work. I appreciate y'all, man, for everything y'all done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, go to my stuff. Go to my YouTube because I need likes, subscriptions. I need all that. Kamaru owes me an interview. Guys, look, I'm just messing with you, man. I love you guys so much, man. Thank you for having me. And go Gilroy Mustangs.
My brother. Oh,
yeah.
All right, guys, as always, from all of us here at Pound for Pound, make sure you like, you subscribe, and guys, your comments, it means a lot to us. Even though I don't like it all, it means a lot to us. So make sure you like, subscribe, and leave your comments. All right, guys, we are out.